Why are you upset? Okay. Yeah, goodbye. Yeah, that's why. Oh.
Now that you are a full-fledged tracker, you will not get assignments, nor will you.
Watch more than you speak.
You must do
You'll
these
learn
things
fast enough.
Sorry guys, I had to mute for a phone call. I'm back. Okay, back. Fucking arm. Don't disconnect me. Damn, we're up already. I make so much money each day doing this. God damn it, it's doing this thing again, where it's like constantly like preventing me from using my keys. It's driving me crazy. Stop preventing me from using my keys.
If you want to hunt a bounty, check the wanted display. If you want a partner, you must ask them. Or you can take a mission from the bounty board downstairs if you wish.
You ever want to learn from the best? Right. Sorry about that.
This wasn't it.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Freestart Ranger Nia Collin. If anyone is hearing this, system's failing. Need help. I repeat, need help.
Approaching ship, you've entered Freestart Collective Space. Maintain your current course while we scan for contraband.
We're getting our way through commerce pretty quick.
All right, we're done. Welcome to Hometown.
Solid looking job there. Nice work.
Something you need?
Okay, what's up, friendos?
Yay,
A couple weeks
Nikura.
ago, I believe, time really is a problem for me recently. A few weeks ago, I made a video about Pikmin, right? And this is the game that simultaneously looks like it's trying its very best to get Nintendo and Palworld to sue them. Now, I have a theory here that this company is an elaborate troll. Like, I can't explain them being so stupid that it's not a troll, because we're gonna go through some replies here to their Twitter, because they decided, oh, people are saying that we are stealing other people's designs and we're stealing from Pokemon, and because it's Mon in the name, it's a problem. So we'll just the big issue is the Mon, and the N at the end of Pikmon. So what we'll do is, to assuage everyone's fear, to really get in the guts of the problem here, we're just gonna change our name to Pikmos. Who knows what this is supposed to be pronounced like, but they think this is a fix. They're not addressing the fact that they've blatantly ripped off a bunch of stuff from other games, as well as other people that have drawn like Pokemon inspired designs and things like that. So, but they're posting on Twitter, and I'm just going to read some of this to you because it is,
did you enjoy your lunch? Yeah, you must
fucking hilarious, because this has to be a troll. I expect in a few months' time they're going to come out and be like, I got you, you know, maybe this is a Drewski skit or something. It's going to have to be some kind of like social commentary on games copying each other. It's some kind of psyop. Right, this is it's not real. It's gotta be, because they say game renaming announcement, the evolution of Pikmos. Dear players rather, since the beginning of development we have been dedicated to building a it's got to be a troll, a unique and profound ecological world. To better align with our brand identity and lore, our title is officially changing. Pikmon, Pikmos, Moss. What does Moss represent? A complete ecosystem, a grand cosmos. So I guess it's Pikmos, right? I guess that answers the question. This name carries a more powerful presence, acting as a better vessel for the fantasy adventure we are building for you. But we cute creatures are still collectively known as Pikmon.
As you can
see you in the world of Pikmos, right? So that's what they said, and then. So I've got to go over this one first, because the rest of it is so fucking stupid that you're not going to believe me. Unless you've been following this, you're just not going to believe what I'm about to tell you. So they then had somebody go on their Twitter account and say, hello, this is the publisher, Network Go. We've heard your feedback regarding the removal of our Steam store page, which I guess I should tell you that they've literally been fucking removed from Steam. Right, that's how bad it's gotten. We want to clear things up. Network Go has officially intervened in the development of Pocket Game. 1, who the fuck are you? 2, I love when a developer is so off the rails that the publisher has to be like, we're coming in and we are intervening. Like, this is an intervention. Put down the crack pipe. Stop smoking the black tar heroin. We're taking it away from you. You can't be trusted to fucking make a video game. That's a really damning indictment. But we obviously don't know if this is just like a lob, or somebody at the company has just been like, I know, I'll pretend everyone's roasting us for stealing and things. What I'll do is I'll pretend to be Network Go, and I'll say that I've come in and I'm just slapping everyone on the nose with a newspaper like, oh, bad boy, stop stealing. But this doesn't even happen, as we're about to go over. But then they said, we'll be supervising the Pikmos team from a player perspective to ensure the game keeps getting better. Nobody's even played the game, so how the fuck would we even know if that's true? But obviously once we get into this, people start posting, delete the game and never exist again. Pretty extreme, but okay. You've stolen many artists' designs. Now this is the issue. Herein lies the issue. What you need to understand is that Fakemon is a term that just sort of means like fan-made fake Pokemon, right? But this account just keeps referring to It's like that old thing from the hacker named 4chan, right? It's like that. They just keep referring to Mr. Fakemon as if Fakemon is a person, right? So they say, could you please ask Mr. Fakemon to provide proof of the trademark rights for the designs in question? We'll get into why this doesn't make sense in a minute, because these people are... This is why I'm saying it's either a troll, because it's so on the nose and stupid, or they are just like mentally deficient and shouldn't be handling a video game because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Our designs are handled by a professional team that manages all trademark filings. Our team has searched the USPTO, the United States Patent and Trademark Office database, and found a record of Mr. Fakemon's company holding trademarks for the creatures shown in your images. If there are any legitimate concerns, our legal counsel will coordinate with our art director to make the necessary adjustments. Right, I just want you to know, if you have a legal counsel, fire them immediately, because this is not about patents and trademarks. It's about copyright, which is different things. This is not a patent. When you don't even have to register copyright for something that you create. The moment you create something, it's copyrighted in America. If you make art and then post it online, you don't have to go and register somewhere. That is your copyright. And the way that this works is when they're looking at, is something, you know, copyright infringement in terms of art, if something's been copied, they use a test of like the silhouette, right? So if you put these two images side by side, the silhouette is fucking identical. Like it literally looks like they've traced it. It's the same thing. You can see like the crossover of the thing coming off of its head in the image. The only thing that's different is that they've got these things on its eyes, but the silhouette of the actual animal is exactly the same. So there's no argument here, but this is absolutely not a patent issue, and they keep posting it. Please ask Mr. Fakemon to provide this proof. I will immediately coordinate with our art director to address the situation. And then they show fucking Mickey Mouse and stuff, but then obviously somebody responds to them and they're like, you know, Fakemon is a term for fan art of Pokemon designs, right? There's no person called Fakemon. Even though there's no patent for such art, the court can flag any patent done by third party if the owner can prove ownership. Patent number has no say in this. Again, it's not a patent issue, it's copyright. They're two totally different things. And then Picmos responds and says, your feedback is highly valued. We are currently consulting with patent attorneys regarding this matter. Since Mr. Fakemon is requesting the withdrawal of our company's product, we require more comprehensive data before we can coordinate further with our developers. Mr. Fakemon's really fucking got him over the barrel here. Old Mr. Non-existent, the hacker known as 4chan. The funny thing is that their only argument is like, oh, but here's Mickey Mouse and stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's a logo, that's a trademark. So of course that's going to be trademarked. This is somebody posting their art, which is immediately copyrighted in America. But obviously they've been removed from the store, and they're like, we're revising the game to ensure a controversy-free experience. I'm sure arguing with Mr. Fakemon on Twitter, everyone is Mr. Fakemon. I am Mr. Fakemon today. You are Mr. Fakemon today. We are all Fakemon. Obviously arguing with them about an issue that doesn't even exist. Like, there's no chance that these actually have a lawyer. There is no world in which they're actually speaking to a lawyer and their lawyer's like, oh yeah, this art that we stole from Instagram is a patent or trademark issue, and if it doesn't exist in the patent and trademark database, we can just use whatever the fuck we want. You do understand that there is a third thing here. It's called copyright, and you are most likely infringing on somebody's copyright there because of the silhouette. They could argue, you know, you can make the argument, oh, we didn't know it existed, so we didn't see it, therefore we didn't copy it. It's just the same, right? It just so happens to have the same silhouette. Maybe that works. Maybe you win the case if it was to go to court, but obviously it doesn't matter because optics are the thing that matters with stuff like this. And when it looks like your game is just a straight rip of other people's games, it's copying every aspect. By the way, I don't give a fuck, right? If the game's good, I don't care who you copy. I'm a person who buys games and plays games to have fun. I'm not the company being, you know, having this harm done to me. My issue is obviously with like smaller creators or independent artists or whatever. If they want to go and copy Palworld's game, let Palworld take that up with them in court. I don't give a fuck. Obviously, if the game sucks, people aren't going to buy it. If the game's good, people won't care. They'll still buy it and play it. It was the same thing when Palworld came out. If Palworld would have sucked, the fact that they copied some of Pokemon's designs and had some problems in that regard, the game was good, so people by and large didn't care and they bought and played it anyway. But if the game sucked, it would have been the biggest problem in the world and not just a few people moaning on Twitter. They do say, I'm an editor from the publisher, we're currently gathering some information, we'll actively be reaching out, and regarding the stolen design from the person on Instagram. But they are going the route here of just BuzzFeeding people. Name 5 ways this game isn't just Palworld. Our next trailer will reveal gameplay changes and innovations that players won't see coming. You won't believe what I put in my ass next. Like, literally just a clickbait. Mr. Kung Fu Man, thank you for your input. We've confirmed with our external 3D team that our poacher models are original creations built from the ground up. We value the community's voice and will conduct a thorough review and implement necessary revisions accordingly. Like, the information provided by Mr. Fakemon is insufficient. As the publisher, we are unable to determine whether there are grounds for defamation or infringement. So, and then this is why it has to be social commentary. It's somebody trolling, and I appreciate it. It's funny. If this does turn out to be a real game, I'm so fucking confused. But they say, hi, I'm Mr. Fakemon, so somebody's obviously like 5D chessing them here. Hi, I'm Mr. Fakemon. Making fan art and using logos or trademark designs for personal, non-commercial use is fine. Using other people's or franchises' artwork for profit without permission is not. Hope this helps. And then they respond and say, based on our past experience, we would like to offer some advice that may be helpful. You cannot use the official Pokemon logo on any unofficial content, whether it is for profit or not. The official stance is to maintain brand integrity and prevent public confusion. Infringement is not determined solely by where the money is involved. So they're saying based on our past experience, as if they've already had Nintendo's lawyers at the door, like you can't use our stuff. But the fact that they're giving other people advice while not understanding the difference between patents, trademarks, and copyright is absolutely fucking stellar. And of course, people are bringing up more examples. Here's some more things that you've allegedly stolen, and they just keep posting this same thing with the fucking trademark of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, as if this is the same thing. And like, please ask Mr. Fakemon to provide proof. What do you mean proof? There's 2 things side by side that look identical. One of them was created by somebody before you used it, and now you've created something that looks like it, substantially like it. The silhouette is identical. What proof would need to be provided? If you're going to be looking for it in the trademark database, there's no proof anybody could show you because it won't fucking be there. It's irrelevant. It also looks like if you look at this post of their trailer, like they're doing their DLSS 5 off, but then they're doing DLSS 5 still off. Like, honestly, this has got to be a troll, because then you look at their actual trailer and they're doing something to it, but they're saying DLSS is off, but it's clearly changing. Like, off, still off, and the game looks completely different, right? And it's completely different from their initial trailer. They're doing something, bro. It's got to be some kind of high level 700 IQ troll. Oh, okay, so now we get to March 23rd. We're going back here, and somebody says, oh cool, the thief has their original account back, and they said, you need a final court judgment to prove we are thieves before I can justify asking the art director to make changes. So unless we are criminally convicted for theft, which is obviously not going to happen, fuck it, we're just going to keep using people's stuff. But then somebody else calls them a thief, and they say our art director will make the changes. I don't know, bro. And they even replied to this ages ago saying our art director will fix the errors, but now they're saying because it's not in the fucking trademark database, they just don't care. It's honestly hilarious, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with this. It seems like it's going to end really badly, or it's a troll. I don't know which one I prefer, but we'll have to wait and see. Either way, thanks for watching. Check the links in the video description. Game subs, go buy something, use my code, get a discount. I get money off your purchase, and yeah, see you next time. Stay safe. Peace.
She puked on my TV remote. Yeah, kitty, don't puke on my TV remote, please. Fucking gross, little kitty. Go puke somewhere else. Yeah, get down. I gotta go throw this away. Well. there, kitty. I'm sorry. You sick? I'll move this stuff out of your way, kitty.
The asteroid is depleted.
Okay, let's get something to drink, sorry. Okay.
Thanks. You've probably noticed by now, most of the time wrong. Now let's talk about those outlaw ships. They were pretty beat up, so I don't think they got real far. But if they make it back to their hideout, I might never find them again. We can't let that happen. They look to be heading for Good hunting.
Take a look at Mithril here. 9,700. Mithril ingots are 45 to 50K. Oops. Now I can't do anything at all. I gotta fucking control delete. Another fucking set of Windows problems.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Docking request accepted. Docking request accepted.
I'm listening. Thanks for taking the time to talk. When you pulled it... No, I don't... How did you feel? Raw energy? I shouldn't be surprised. True. But hey, how else would you describe it? The artifacts are so different. Yes, precise. You'd think. Frustrating? It would be... I knew I picked them. Look. And I... Can I help?
like cruising to this planet is getting bigger very slowly.
Yeah, what is it?
Oops. Wow. Going to Hope Town.
Autopilot engaged.
Good to go for landing.
Into Stargate. Warp drive active. Approaching Stargate.
Yeah?
Autopilot jumping. Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active.
Oh, that's cool. You can like
Approaching
upgrade the ship, huh?
Stargate.
With X-Tech. This is a town that I don't spend a lot of time in.
Autopilot jumping. Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active.
I suppose I should eat lunch. I'm gonna go get something. I'll be right back.
Approaching Stargate. Autopilot jumping. Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active. Approaching Stargate. Autopilot jumping. Warp drive active. Approaching station. Docking permission requested. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted. Autopilot disabled. Waypoint reached.
I'm here to run a booster and take a look at HyperNet. Skill extractors. $10 bill.
Megan to start posting very obviously fake.
Do you know what wet food actually does to your cat when they eat it every single day? Most owners think it's just a better meal. But what's really going on inside their body is something most people have no idea about. It changes how their organs function, how they feel, even how they act around you. What starts happening might completely change the way you feed your cat. Here's what kicks in from day one. 1. Their body finally gets the water it needs. Have you...
What a weird video. David was finally arrested.
Yes?
beautiful sunny day.
Head on over to meetcannon.store to buy new.
I don't want to hear any complaints.
Great to see you.
Keep an eye on your valuables.
Excuse me. A little desperate here. This is such a long shot.
All right, Adela. Oh, God. Ugh, I'm just great. When I signed on, and now, where to start? So, we do bulk shipping. Have you ever had a... You get it then. So, as soon as I let everyone demanding it, I skip the system. It gets even worse. A tracker just... But the trick is, everyone... So if you... You are the... He's the one with the cowboy hat. Just stay safe.
Oh, now I can probably finally go to Crix to the den and buy a better cockpit, which is cool. Wow, was that it? I think that was it, but okay.
Howdy.
We'd be dust, except for the factory.
You made it. Those outlaws... I'm sure they didn't want to die. It's a pointless and... You've got good timing. I was surprised as... Anyway, Mr. Ho... His office is upstairs.
Off-worlders, nothing ever good comes from them.
I'm guessing the Marshal already told you this, but I'll say it anyway. Ron Hope isn't just the founder and president of Hope Tech. He's on the Council of Governors. council oversees the Freestar Rangers, so don't rile him up. I've spent a long time trying to build a good relationship with Hope. He comes on a little strong, but there's a lot to admire about the man. Everything you see around you, he built. Pretty much everyone in this town owes him for their livelihood. Can't begin to imagine the kind of pressure that must put on someone. All I'm saying is, try to show a little respect. All the way up. Is it just me, or does every executive in Sun Systems have an office on the top floor? I guess being above everyone makes them feel like they're, well, above everyone.
Just keep it holstered. Creativity. You know how I built this company?
I'm gonna let this all run and I'm gonna watch a video and eat my lunch. I'll be right back.
New merch. The If
Ah.
I Beat the Yuppies, You Gon' Tell on
Oh,
Me
damn it.
shirt was added just to our collection, and pre-orders in April 26. So get yours before time runs out. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit down because today we're going to be talking about comic conventions, Comic-Cons. There are all sorts of cons around the globe where people meet to celebrate their love of shared interest, but none are as popular or as influential as Comic-Con. The fan convention dates as far back as the 1960s and has evolved into one of the biggest annual events existing today. Throughout the 4-day event, over 100,000 fans continue to celebrate pop culture in all of its forms. But this is just one con of many. In fact, there are all sorts of local conventions that allow people from even the smallest towns to be a part of this experience. However, these conventions are not without their problems. Not only are they becoming more widely popular and densely packed, but the shift to a broader focus on pop culture over just comics has slowly driven many people away. And it goes without saying that putting many obsessive fans and collectors in the same place can lead to some imaginable horrors, all right? So, Grab your badges and fresh stick of deodorant as we trudge through the chaos that is Comic-Con. And we wanted to do this video because we just recently went to Kansas City Comic-Con, Planet Comic-Con, and we were selling Margarets. We do have a Margaret toy for people who don't know, and it was a lot of fun. But I will say, does it even feel like Comic-Con anymore? It feels like just a celebrity meet and greet. Also, $120 to meet to what? To take a photo?
To meet Frodo himself?
Well, dude, they did Frodo and fucking Samwise Gamgee, whatever, as one. I think that was like $400 to do a paired photo for like a 60-second interaction. Hey, oh, I love your movie. Thank you. You get ushered across. Is that not the great? Also, I saw Bruce Dickinson at the Kansas City Comic-Con. He's the lead singer of Iron Maiden.
Oh.
Has 5 like platinum albums. What do you charge $150 to sign an album? Isn't that crazy? Jacob, who works here,
he also flies
he was like,
747s and he flies his band everywhere he goes.
That was it, right? That was it.
Are you a big fan?
That'll be fun. I feel like conventions as a whole, we need to. The only ones I like now are they keep trimming them to where now they become even more like the niche conventions are the ones I go to. Like I like toy conventions, like little like underground shit where it's like I went to a GI. This is very cringe. I went to a G.I. Joe convention one time, not because I like G.I. Joes, but because there was just like small toy vendors there, and you're able to look at all. It was cool. You go to that shit and you're like, what the fuck is this even from? And that guy like floats out of the darkness and he's like, so actually that was like an import from Sweden. They only did like 300 of these, so it's like that kind of thing. And I like that. I'm not even the biggest comic guy, but it does feel weird going to a comic book convention and it's like that's the back burner. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares about the comics? It's all about the 3D printed dragons.
3D printed dragons, the same art prints and posters, Funko Pops, and did we say 3D dragons? A lot of 3D printed dragons. It's unfucking believable. One of the main appeals of attending a comic convention is the prospect of finding a cool piece of art or merch. Sadly, the Artist Alley is one of the most neglected parts of the con experience, according to both staff and attendees, which I will say, Artist Alley is one of the loneliest, saddest places on earth. I want to look at people's art and walk through there, but I do hate it because it feels like I'm at like a dog shelter. You know what I mean? Where if you like look at one, you catch somebody in the eye, they're like,
and they have puppy dog eyes. And
well, it's like come buy something. I mean, it feels like take me home, yeah. Doesn't it? It feels like that though. And you sit there and I always feel like, and I feel bad because I feel like I have to throw out a comment. Oh, I like the pens. Each year, hundreds of artists and creators pay good money to attend comic conventions to sell their own art and prints from their favorite fandoms. However, what was once a focal point of the convention has now been seemingly pushed to the side. At numerous events, the Artist Alley has been moved far from the main vendor floor with no signs to direct attendees, leaving most Artist Alley a barren wasteland, which is an even bigger kick in the teeth when it's like, yeah, I had to pay $600 to get a table up here. $600! If I flew in, how much money do I have to even break even? You know what I mean? Well, thank God I brought my prints and my sketchbook. It's like unfucking real, and then yeah, they put you in the shadow. The power. It's like a motion activated light in the back of the convention. It's super dark. Everyone's just in there like sitting at their table like this.
At least you could sit and like work on your comic.
You could have done that at home. You could have done that at home and just taken a picture. I mean, it's the biggest scam that conventions do, I feel like, is making them they charge so much for a fucking table. Prime real estate. All the way in the back.
And then you have to pay $80 for Wi-Fi every day.
Yeah, I couldn't fucking believe that. Sometimes their designated spots have poor Wi-Fi, making sales take forever or nearly impossible to complete with a little square reader. It's fucking obnoxious. And even if you have a successful weekend at your booth, there are still tons of random problems that many artists don't account for. For example, comic publishers from Japan and the US send agents to conventions to shut down any booth selling any unauthorized merchandise. A fucking Midwest comic convention. You. Like an FBI agent or like a Men in Black. Is this your Naruto drawing? Yeah. Now you don't know how to draw. This video is sponsored by Incogni. These days it's hard to go anywhere where your data can't be found. With a quick scan of the internet, scammers and data brokers can find your home address and phone number, and criminals can open up lines of credit.
I like the style of ad that he's doing. I think it's outside the box and I like it. And that's weird to say about a commercial.
And file tax returns in your name. And that's why, for my peace of mind, I use Incogni. It's never good when your personal data gets out. Even if they aren't stealing from you, these people can use information to stalk, stalk, threaten, and harass you. This is unfortunately something that has come up in my own life, and to protect myself and my family, I need to make sure it doesn't happen again. Which is why Incogni's new custom removal feature is such a relief. If I find a site with my information on it, I can send it in Incogni, and their privacy experts work to get it removed. And it helps me find where my personal information is exposed on search engine sites to help wipe them away too. It can take years to scrub information off the web manually. Let Incogni do the messy work for you. Go to incogni.com/papameat and use code PAPAMEAT for 60% off. Incogni helps wipe yourself from the internet. They can't harm you if they can't find you. Click the link below to claim your 60% off and get your personal data off the market. Thank you to Incogni for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video. Some event organizers will set up events near the artist alley that directly distract from their booths. Like when one convention scheduled a 3-hour wrestling event right in front of the artist's booths, drawing away all their potential customers and costing them money. Hey, to be fair, it's kind of sweet.
You think putting an event like that would be like, hey, go do Artist Alley though, right? That's what my thing is. It's like, if there's something in the middle of Artist Alley, people have to go through there and walk through.
I think that they should put it to where you have to walk through to get to the vendors you want to do, so then they can experience and look at the stuff. There's some conventions where they'll put those motherfuckers on a totally different floor. Yeah. Like, this is the main floor, and then upstairs something's happening. I don't know what it is. It's that kind of thing. Which, to be fair, there are a lot of people who are like, the artists though who go there and they're like, they feel slighted. It's like, what do you expect? What do you expect by this point? You know? I guess the wrestling match took away all my money. It's like, yeah, dude, the wrestling match is way cooler than the fucking Joker print you have. Sorry. That's the reality of the situation. Many creators are left frustrated by these ongoing difficulties, and some are choosing to pack up and leave conventions early because it's no longer worth their time. It's not just the con making it hard for artists, but the artists themselves. At certain cons, staff are now having to remove booths from Artist Alley because they bring obnoxious lighting and sound setups that annoy nearby artists and attendees. What would they even be? What sounds would they have? Just jungle sounds?
Yeah.
Also, obnoxious lights. You're in a fully lit room. What could I mean, if it was a strobe light,
I think that's what
if I was sitting across from a strobe light and had to look at it all day, I might complain as well. But I mean, what the fuck else do you want it to be?
Can't they just tell them to turn it off? The staff?
Oh,
you can't do
you
that.
didn't say.
It sounds like what they're maybe doing is telling them to take it down. I don't know.
I thought they were kicking them out and banning them for life.
Maybe it's just that immediate jump. Get out of here and never come back forever until the end of time. This can include massive displays which are deemed dangerous because they are unstable and hang over walkways. What are these? I can't, like, is this like Kanye's like stage setup, you know what I mean? Where it like hovers over the crowd.
Have you seen his new stage? It's a fucking
orb?
globe. Yeah.
It's insane. It has like random holes that shoots out smoke and stuff.
I think it spins too, because he walks and plays.
It spins?
I think so.
Good fucking lord. Don't put that in Artist Alley, is all I gotta say. On the other side, fans who attend these conventions are starting to dislike Artist Alley because they're all selling them the same prints. And very rarely do people bring original works of art anymore, which is true. A lot of the times, that's another thing with these conventions is it's these vendors who are going from cons to cons, but I feel like they're all getting stuff from the same supplier, so everything looks the exact same.
Or there's just trends, like everybody has a Joker thing.
A Joker, an anime
Man.
thing. Yeah. Whatever's the hot thing, they all are selling that exact same thing. In the last few years, AI art has also flooded conventions, leading more people to lose interest. And thankfully, Comic-Con has come out in support of artists and banned the sale of AI art and content at their events. That is, however, only going to apply to people who get caught, which also I think a lot of conventions aren't going to give a fuck after a while. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't even know. Couldn't tell you. All right. Go ahead. There still exist many artists who have positive experiences in the alley, being able to meet with other artists and make money doing what they love. Some of you might be wondering why the Artist Alley has been so forgotten by the event's organizers. Well, a big reason for that is that the slot being sold in the vendor halls bring in so much money in its place. Nowadays, if you attend any con or public event, you are bound to find tables of 3D printed garbage. And listen, I love 3D printed things, but it's the same idea of the vendors. They're all using the same files and printing the same shit to where now, when I see a 3D printed dragon, I have a full-blown panic attack. You know what I mean? I see him strung up and I feel like I'm like a fucking Vietnam vet. I get all claustrophobic and I have to leave. It's anytime. Dude, I've been seeing them at antique malls.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are they there? You have like there's like a fucking Ronald McDonald sign, and all of a sudden there's a full booth of just fucking 3D printed dragons and beetles.
It's probably like the shop owner's like nephew or something.
I
can't put my 3D printed stuff in here.
Here's the thing though, is it's never one. It's like, it's so many. To the point where I'm like, how much filament and time went into these fucking dragons, dude? It's unreal. These booths have taken over comic conventions, offering overpriced items like fidget dragon prints, busts of popular characters, and decorative swords, some of which are going for $50 or more. What do you think about the whole sword? Remember we went to like a card collection convention that we did on our Media Magic? There was like a fucking giant booth.
Oh, there's multiple.
Laid out like a fucking, like a Nigerian arms salesman. I was like, holy fuck. There's Keyblades and Final Fantasy swords. He's like, pick which one you like. Should I get the Keyblade?
You would look mean with the Keyblade.
Keyblade with the Naruto.
It was great. I thought I was on the set of fucking Blood Diamond for a second, looking at all these goddamn swords.
I guess if you're a fan of it, I wouldn't buy a sword.
If I was a kid.
Yeah.
I guess to be fair, if I was like, that was like my big appeal going to the Renaissance Fair when I was a kid. Getting like the wooden swords and the foam swords and that kind of stuff. So I guess I could see it. I was always hyped whenever someone had like the Aragorn sword.
Or like Kratos's blades.
Oh yeah, the Chaos Blades or something. Yeah, I would be so stoked. Those are not even the worst things sold on the vendor floor. In recent years, Labubus and other blind boxes have taken over the sales floor, with Pop Mart usually having massive booths at comic conventions. Trendy items like Labubus will likely fade away within 5 years. Funko Pops, however, are a permanent fixture, dominating the vendor floor like a goddamn cancer. Which if you, here's the thing. Never mind.
What?
Man. If you like Funko Pops is one thing, but I wish that there was a thing where they're like, I wish conventions would be like, we have two. There's two vendors that do the Funko Pops. It's everywhere. It's fucking every booth you go by. To the point, and you know what's weird is I'll even do a couple laps throughout the day or do whatever. None of them sell. How, I want to actually know if there's someone who sells Funko Pops and that watches our videos at a convention, how much honestly are you selling? Because every time I go, I never see anyone holding. Actually, that's not true. If there's an actor there who is of that, I'm like, and if anything, just bring those Funko Pops. I saw like a fucking Art the Clown one because that dude was there. And it's like, oh, that's the perfect thing if you want to get signed. But then it's just it's the ugliest fucking little creature in a box you've ever seen. I'd rather have like a print or something signed, but I digress.
Could you imagine going up to an actor and they hand you a Funko Pop to sign? You know, just like...
If someone came to me and they're like, could you sign my Funko Pop of you? I make jokes about me shooting myself all the time, but... you know what I would do. As soon as you walk through the venue doors, your eyes will be met with Funko Pops stacked to the ceiling at countless booths. I mean, it's like a fucking wall of Funkos. What's even crazier is that they are resellers and not even like official booths. It's just people upselling you Funko Pops. Blatantly to your face. Oh yeah, I'm gonna charge 5% extra. I've had people say that to me. Well, I gotta charge 5% extra to make up the booth fee. No one's making you be here. You're putting that on me, the customer? Okay. It would be understandable to have 2 or 3 booths, but the plastic figurines cover the entire floor and can even be found at booths unrelated to Funko Pops, even like comic booths or anything. Still, tons of Funkos. Funko, once again, has ruined my day. Some vendors resell their exclusive Funkos, which can show price tags up to $40,000 for a single Funko. And we've covered the insanity of Funko Pops before. However, if someone is going to pay for an item that expensive, you'd think it'd be a genuine movie prop or like a rare comic at one of these conventions instead of just a rare Funko. And if they're that popular, why is there not just, this is just the Funko convention? I'm saying a touring thing that's as regular as Comic-Con. So you just push those out. That way, if you see it at one of the other conventions, you have every right to stone them. We go into archaic rules and laws from days of old in the Bible, and we stone these people.
You think Funkos will eventually... I mean, they're dying, but you think they'll die completely?
I don't think so. It has too many movie IPs to where, if anything, there'll probably be a thing that happens that usually happens with the youth is like, ironically, it'll come back. Like the way that like some fashion from the early 2000s is kind of like, I feel like Funkos are going to come back in a weird way. Like the same way that people like nowadays are like, oh, I love Beanie Babies. It's like, who the fuck, like really? You want to collect Beanie Babies now?
Born.
I think it's going to have that effect. The sad reality is that many convention goers will buy multiple Funkos from multiple vendors, which only encourages more resellers to show up and block out potentially unique or cool booths. Which also, I have to, I very rarely see people buy the Funkos. And if it is that profitable, I just feel like you would just see way more of them.
You think people are ashamed of carrying their Funkos around?
That's a very good point. I do. I think that there's a stigma now that I think, because you know whenever you're like walking a convention, you're like walking by and someone's like walking by and they do like,
Yeah.
And you're like, it's because of the Funko.
Put it in my bag.
Exactly. Now I have a big black bag I put all my Funkos in. Look like fucking Krampus leaving the Comic-Con.
I was gonna say, like, Funkos are mass-produced, so I mean, granted, there's rarer ones, but like, buy them online. Why are you going to a convention and like being like, oh, I don't have that Funko?
It probably is a thing where it's like maybe maybe they're not available online. I'm just playing devil's advocate of like maybe it's also just the thrill of the hunt.
Okay, that's fair.
Right.
That's where people like going.
Yeah, I mean, there's things where it's like I could get online, but it's the idea of being like I come across it one day somehow feels more special in some weird chimp-like thought pattern that I have in my head. I don't know. While the San Diego Comic-Con and other large conventions have their own problems and controversies, there are a bunch of smaller local cons that are just as bad, if not worse. The biggest problem that many small comic conventions face is not having the money or the staff to put on a proper event. Super Fan Comic-Con was a local comic convention held in Toronto, Canada. In 2014, that was a complete and total disaster. Organizers of the event estimated that there would be over 15,000 attendees, which drew many vendors and celebrities. However, on the day of the event, only 2,000 people showed up, causing many of the main attractions to pack up and leave due to low sales and feeling misled. Which, considering how expensive it is to lock down booth space, this is especially bad for those trying to actually make a living doing like the circuit and stuff, right? Also, people like a Toronto thing, I wonder how many people actually flew.
Oh, yeah.
Flew out of country to go there.
I would say most of them.
Also, 2,000 people is so small. Like in the grand, like I'm trying to picture how big the space is. Like the one in Kansas City has like in a huge convention space. I'm wondering if it's like just how empty and quiet was that convention.
Very awkward, yeah.
Yeah. Also, packing up early would kill me.
I would just stay for the whole thing.
Fuck it, I'm already here. I'll just leave my booth unattended and go like hang out in Toronto or something like that. A year later, at the Fanfare Comic Convention, numerous celebrity guests canceled their appearance because the organizers didn't have enough money to pay them to show up. And this has been a growing problem in the industry where even C-list celebrities were asking for like a shit ton of money and personal services to appear at conventions, making it harder for small cons to get good guests. Which also, here's the thing, fuck the celebrities. What's insane and totally criminal to me is that, like, let's say like a Matthew Lillard, whatever. That motherfucker's probably getting like 50 to 80 grand to show up for a weekend, right? And then he's having you pay 100 to 150 bucks to what? To sign a picture? To take a selfie with them?
Is that the con making him do it though?
I think it's just him. I think they're saying that by you coming here, they might take a small cut, but I doubt it. I bet you they're paying him and they're like, you can come here and then you can charge people to do that because we know that we're gonna put your face on a billboard and then it's gonna drive a shit ton of ticket sales. Is what
I don't like fandom.
Yeah.
I don't like fandom in any way or form, and you know, it's not like this thing that I used to like and left. I've never liked fandom. I've never liked the people that I was around when I was a kid playing Magic the Gathering. I always thought of them as marks, basically. I like, you know, and like I've never liked fandom at all. I think it's sometimes stealing is sort of coherent, or sorry, like sort of like stealing is part of the part of the whole situation. I don't like worshiping something. I don't like how much money it costs. I used to do it with bands sometimes. I would buy their merch. After a while, I began to dislike fandom. It's almost like you have to prove your great deep appreciation of something to the whole world. It's like, I declare that I like this thing, and now I have to prove to them that I like it prove to the world that I like it by just like buying lots of stuff. And I'm like, I don't know.
it's just a way for them to drive ticket sales. That's all it is. I mean, hey, make that bread, I guess. And if people are willing to like pay for it, who am I to say? I don't know. Despite not having the same resources, smaller cons.
Oh my God, that's Pirate Software's dad.
Still have tons of cosplayers and interesting. I need to say, I don't know. Despite not having the same resources. Smaller cons still have tons of cosplayers and interesting characters who can ruin other people's experiences. While at a small con, a man in cosplay was waiting for his wife to return from getting an autograph when a morbidly obese, acne-ridden couple approached him and started taking pictures. The woman, who had a horrid stench, yelled, "I want all that!" and took a picture of his ass before walking away. Did we have to dig into their looks that hard?
You have to paint a picture.
Also, at a certain point, which this is obviously, I'm not saying that overtly sexual, but if you're into cosplay, like obviously going to someone and being like, "Oh, I want all that," it's a bit much. But I mean, are you not opening up people to just like take a picture of you?
Yeah, I feel like if you're at a convention, as long as it's a normal picture.
No, don't get me wrong. There are etiquettes to it. I've seen people go up and they're like, "Do you mind if I snap a photo?" Which is extremely polite. But I've also seen people like walk by and they'll like wait till they're behind someone and then like take photos of them. Not necessarily sexually of like their ass or anything, but I just mean like that they didn't want to have the
interaction.
The interaction, which it's like just so much creepier. And it's so obvious too, especially whenever the old guys like hold the camera like this. Adjust their glasses. Oh, what's also with when old people take pictures? They always have to look at it and then suspiciously look around. Have you noticed that? Every time I saw this at Comic-Con, anytime someone, they'd be like, it makes it seem like they just took a picture of something they shouldn't have.
Yeah. Making sure they didn't get caught taking the picture.
This guy just took a picture of me standing there. I looked at him, I said, "Oh, what's up, man?" And he didn't say anything. He just
walked away.
Can't say hi to me? Fuck's sakes. One of the biggest attractions at any comic convention, big or small, is a celebrity panel, where guests can meet and interact with their favorite movie stars or comic artists. If you thought you could just walk through the doors when the panel starts, be prepared for a disappointing weekend. Regardless of the size, lines for these talks usually take hours, or even a full day to stand through to talk to one of these motherfuckers. In advance, with many fans pitching tents and sleeping overnight to hold their spot, to talk to like a guy from Supernatural. One of the actors from Supernatural. Oh, God, I hope I meet him. I love your show. Thanks. Oh, whoa, that was amazing.
I mean, they cut people off, right?
Oh, yeah.
They realize, like, oh, wait.
I think there's a literal count. Like, I think that that's another thing that the cons will do is be like, on these specific days, how many people are you willing to sit through?
Approaching starting.
I don't know. How many are willing to pay? And after a while, though, I think that they do cut it off because they don't want to block shit, but I don't know. Because this is so common, most venues have specific practices to help prevent lines from getting out of hand. Line capping is when staff temporarily stop people from getting in line. Otherwise, they would wrap around the entire con venue and sometimes even out the door. And most venues also have security guards and staff walking up and down the line to prevent people from cutting or to stop fights. What remains is a cramped graveyard of nerds sleeping in the cold so they can be the first to receive their next hit of Marvel slot dopamines. Jesus, dude. I thought I was getting personal in this document. Holy shit. People camping out just to, like, you know, be able to interact with somebody that, I mean, so they can be the first to receive their next hit of Marvel slot dopamines. Jesus, dude. I thought I was getting personal in this document.
Oh. A cramped graveyard of nerds sleeping in the cold so they can be the first to receive the next hit.
Holy
Marvel
shit. People
slot
camping out just to, like, you know, be able to interact with somebody that, I mean, at this point, though, you'd have to assume that these people are like, I love this actor. You know what's weird, though, is a lot of people I hear they wait in these lines for hours, and they're like, yeah, I mean, I like that one movie they're in. It's like they're not even that big of a fan.
Oh, that's
it's so weird. There's some people where they're like shaking and they're like cry, like, and I'm like, hey, obviously this means something to you that we don't understand, but to just be so casual, like, oh, there's nothing else better to do.
Well, there's some people who are like, oh, I don't know him, but he looks popular, so I gotta meet him.
Yeah.
There's like people like that mentality of FOMO, like if I don't do this, I'm missing out on something.
Yeah, I'm gonna regret it.
Guy said that to me at the convention.
What?
Well, he like went up and he's looking at the line that you had, and he's just like, who is this guy? Is he popular? I was like, oh yeah, we're kind of popular. We have a YouTube channel. Anyways, was talking to him. He's just like, I don't know you guys, but I feel like I gotta buy something from you. I feel like I'm missing out.
I've had people say it to me, and I'm like, you absolutely don't have to do that. If anything, it'd make me more comfortable if you just didn't do that. I feel like you're just popular, I gotta buy something. I'm like, that's like the opposite. You should go to somebody who's not doing super great and help them out. You know what I mean? I'm selling a toy, like an oven toy. I just, here, take it. Take the wallet. There's no amount of time that's too much for passionate fans. Some are so dedicated that they'll go to great lengths to meet their favorite celebrity. The line to see Jason Momoa at the Basingstoke Comic-Con was a total disaster, as the event organizers overbooked the panel, leaving people waiting over 12 hours to get inside. To make matters worse, Jason left after one day despite being scheduled for the whole weekend, and numerous staff members were physically attacked by guests in line after being forced to hold their place in the sweltering heat. While those who stood in line were justified in being angry, the actual
My raisins are gone. I don't know what I did with them, damn it. I put my raisins somewhere. I don't know where I stuck them.
which blew it way out of proportion.
A bunch of nerds complaining.
Oh, Jason Momoa, I'm getting sunburned. 12 hours for Jason Momoa? Is that worth it?
No.
Besides like Khal Drogo and Aquaman, has he been in anything else? Minecraft, actually. Never mind. Minecraft. Minecraft. Conventions can often be a flood to the senses. It's not just loud sounds you have to worry about, however, because the stench is even more powerful. Like other events, comic conventions are no strangers to the smell of body odor and feces. Sweating at a con is normal. You're walking around all day, sometimes in layers of cosplay attire that can cause you to otherwise overheat, right? Or even just the amount of body heat in there, you're walking around and it is what it is. People are gonna sweat. However, it's hard to deny that some attendees are simply unhygienic, no matter how many people want to blame it on the venue's bad airflow. God damn, fucking turn on the AC. It's like other people have sweatshirts on. Jesus. For years now, people have complained to the event organizers about the smell and even bring signs chastising smelly attendees that read, and I quote, "If you could afford the entry ticket, you can afford a stick of deodorant." Maybe that's just what people need sometimes, a nice kick in the ass. At Comic-Con, however, you'll sometimes see things that make you question whether or not the attendants are even human. What? God damn. Well, at the New York Comic-Con, numerous guests reported seeing and smelling smears of human poop right in the middle of the show floor. How? Who did this? I've seen some people do some sneaky shits though in public.
Oh yeah.
Quickly pull out their pants. And they walk off and people like step in it and stuff.
Or they do the waddle and they kick it out of their pants.
Kick it out of their pants. the waddle and kick. You can get prison time for doing that shit, right?
Can you?
I would assume. For shitting on the floor? I mean, like, that's got to be some type of act of bioterrorism, you would assume, right?
I've seen this one where this lady, she couldn't hold her diarrhea, so she, like, pulled her pants down and, like, shit in, like, the refrigerated, like, produce area.
People are so fucking vile. It's unbelievable, man. Not only did someone walk through it, but the staff believed that the person who did this dropped it while walking around the con as if it was smooth and subtle. Well, they don't know who it was, so it probably was pretty fucking smooth and subtle. Event staff would block off area as janitors made their way through the crowd. They had to actively tell people to stop taking photos. Despite the sneaky attendees and crazy fans, comic conventions remain among the most popular kinds of conventions in the United States. Even though I will say, I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older, it feels like it's getting worse every year. Like I have a feeling like after a while, it's going to completely revert to meet a celebrity. The title of Comic Con is, I feel like that has to go away soon, and it's going to just be Celebrity Con or something. It really is nothing more than a fun place where people get to gather and share their nerdy interests, meet others in their fan communities, and go home with some cool shit. If you can attend a Comic Con near you, have fun, but be mindful and avoid bothering people. And for the love of God, bring deodorant. And also, dude, don't pay for the celebrity line. In my opinion.
I think I say don't shit your pants.
Oh yeah, that should go without saying. I guess what I'm saying is this video just made me, it has made me an advocate for being like, I mean, who am I to say? I just like, it's never worth it. They're never going to say anything. You're going to walk up and it's like it's cool meeting people that you're like, I'm a huge fan of you. But at the end of the day, it's going to, the conversation's 60 seconds, if that, and then you get to go off and do whatever. I don't know. I just don't think it's worth it. If anything, I would say try to go to some place where like, look at the actual people who are like selling real art and try to pick up that. At least for me personally, that's where I have the most.
Yeah, support artists.
It's fucking cool. That's also why I like local zine cons and all that kind of like, I don't know, that's like some hipster artsy shit. There's a lot of dog shit stuff there too. But let me tell you, it's cool seeing local people in your community, especially if you're in like a flyover Midwest state or something. There's a lot of fucking cool artists in your area that might be making some shit where you're like, oh, this is sick. Especially if you are a fan of comics. There's like a lot of local comic people that you should check out their stuff. It's cool. So that's all I have. Don't go to Comic-Con. Is that bad? I will say, can I at least say this? At our Comic-Con, thank you to everyone who did come out. Everyone was super nice. I couldn't believe the amount of people that just kind of showed up. We kind of sprung it out of nowhere, so it was a bit of a surprise, but people got to go and see Margaret and stuff. That was a lot of fun, and everybody was super fucking cool. So many nice people. So.
And the staff tried to shut you down.
The staff did try shutting us down and made it really awkward, but I think they were just doing their jobs too. You can't blame them. It is what it is. So. See you in the next one. Bye!
I got sent back to Jita. But, oh god, did I get out of the clone? I don't think I did. Oh no, I don't think I got out of that clone. At least it's only 100 mil. Oh, son of a bitch. I didn't get out of the clone. Ah, 124. Oh well. I mean, that's, you know, that's the piece of shit CCP developers. That's who they are. They'll kill you just for trying to travel. You know, I resent them, but I think it's about their gotcha swipe bullshit. I swear to God. Oh, I lost an implant thing. It's a fucking eating comm. So stupid. Plug in. I did forget. I forgot. Leave clone. I just popped the booster. Ugh. Oh, my hand. I should maybe not play Starfield for a while. You are not letting me select anything. When he attacked me, that was the easiest way. The cheapest, easiest way. Just stab him twice. Yeah, my hand. I should not be playing mouse games right now. It sucks. Ugh. What's up? You had amp on him. My sissy. Hello. Hello, my sissy. I love you. Get some lap. Oh, this is a good kitty. I can't believe I lost a fucking 100 mil. Happy pancake.
I'm standing up. We're doing something new today. Well, I told you guys. I did tell you this was going to happen. It was only a matter of time. I am a seer. The thesis of this video is essentially, as conditions of everyday Americans becomes more dire, people have started burning shit. Hello, ladies, men, and non-binary friends. Welcome back. Today we are talking about the most recent misfortunes that have befallen billionaires and greedy politicians in our country. We are overdue for a Hope Corps video. Yes, we are. I'm sure many of you have already seen the video of that one warehouse worker setting the Kimberly-Clark toilet paper warehouse on fire, allegedly.
You know, if you're not gonna pay us enough to live or afford to live, at least pay us enough not to do this. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. All you had to do was pay us enough.
Damn, all you had to do is burn them now.
There goes your inventory.
And the council member whose house was shot up after saying he was in support of a data center that his community vehemently opposed.
Indiana councilman is feeling that heat from his
Burn it down, bitch.
community after his home was allegedly targeted this week. Look at that. Indianapolis councilman Ron
Somebody shot up his house.
Gibson's front door hit with 13 bullets with a note on his doorstep reading "No data center."
But there's a lot more where that came from, so let's get into it. Now, the initial reaction to most, if not all, of these events happening so close to each other is pretty much exactly what you would expect. The billionaires and the journalists that are paid by them are crying about it, and the rest of us are seemingly overjoyed. Minus the bootlickers, of course, because there's always one guy. He's just gotta lick that boot a little longer. But yes, the vast consensus seems to be, they had it coming. They had it coming.
A pound of ground beef costs more than the federal minimum wage, and the guy who set that toilet paper warehouse on fire would likely have to work for over an hour to even buy a pack to wipe his fucking ass. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like what he did wasn't based. It was fucking based.
What I appreciate most about the man in the warehouse, even in his act of desperation, because it wasn't an act of violence, because nobody was hurt, nobody was intended to be hurt, he said, all you have to do is pay us a livable wage. He's still thinking about everybody, even like people other than just himself, because he knows that if they won't pay me a livable wage, they won't pay you a livable wage.
And it is genuinely refreshing to see the apathy that billionaires have directed towards the general population finally directed back towards them. Because when have they ever cared about us? At least in my lifetime. The millionaires and billionaires of old at least had the common decency to contribute to society. You know, sponsoring theaters, building parks, funding museums, paying taxes. So when mainstream media outlets try to shame the public for daring to be a little bit happy about these misfortunes, or when they go about demonizing the people who have been pushed to their motherfucking limit without referencing the system that actually got them there, it's very easy for people to see right through that. But I see these events as a rally cry to the working class and a message to CEOs and politicians everywhere that if you spend your career building policies that are more concerned with making money and protecting the elite than actually helping people, this is the natural result. What did they expect? But regardless, and unsurprisingly, it seems that the coverage of the loss of capital is dealt with more empathy in mainstream media than the ongoing loss of life or poor working and living conditions for actual humans in and outside of the US.
That the damage as a result of the arson was over $10.1 million. That actually makes this case, if convicted of this charge, if proven beyond a reasonable doubt, would be 10 years to life.
This act of violence apparently was driven by his hostility.
Act of violence? He didn't hurt anybody.
To capitalism and corporations.
Oh no, corporations were the ones who were hurt. Oh no.
This one is especially interesting considering that they never even mention the workers' motivations, even though he explicitly says it in the video.
An employee has been arrested on suspicion of arson over this monster blaze at a warehouse in California. More than 100.
At that point, the three square meals in jail and like a certain bed is maybe better than being a wage slave for these pieces of shit, maybe.
100 firefighters battled towering flames.
That's the
which
prison
spread
industrial
rapidly through
complex
the
that
paper
I know.
business. The fire was so intense it caused the roof to collapse. Around 20 workers were inside at the time, all of them safely evacuating.
No shame that these piss-poor wages or our impossible living conditions are what actually led to this. No. And this is just a healthy reminder before we get any further into the video. Loss of capital is not equal to loss of life. Not even anything close. Loss of capital is not the same value as loss of life because things can be replaced. People, when they die forever, at least with today's technology. You know, once we start working necromancy into our daily routines, I may have to edit this video again. But let's begin with the warehouse fire that started it all. Now, just in case you missed the details on this story, the first warehouse fire that was covered in this string of warehouse fires was a worker allegedly filming himself igniting a 1.2 million square foot Kimberly-Clark distribution center on fire. The 29-year-old warehouse worker was arrested on Tuesday on multiple felony arson charges after authorities say he deliberately set a massive fire that destroyed that distribution center in Ontario, California. The facility, which stored paper products, including toilet paper, tissues, diapers, diapers, etc., quickly went up in flames, and none of the building's sprinklers went off.
None of them. Yeah, that sounds like the Corpo Orbulors that I know.
The roof collapsed, the building and the inventory were all lost. Also, a reminder, this is not mentioned in every outlet covering this story, but I thought it important to point out that in a 1.2 million square foot distribution center, there were only 20 employees on staff that were meant to be fully operating this center. So, just for reference, that's a center that could contain nearly 1,000 school buses. That's a center that is over 7 football fields end to end, and nearly 30 acres of land, just to give you some idea of the size of this center with only, again, 20 employees operating it. So it's easy to understand how overwhelmed these workers probably are.
You know, if you're not going to pay us enough to live or afford to live, at least pay us enough not to do this.
Yeah.
All you had to do was pay us enough to live. All you had to do was pay us enough to
live.
There goes your inventory.
Tonight,
all you had to do was pay us
social
enough to
media has
live.
Surfaced of what appears to be inside a warehouse as someone is going around the room starting several fires while talking about their salary. Fire officials say the fire started on Tuesday just after midnight and quickly grew because of the large amount of paper products inside the warehouse that fueled the flames.
They called break and I went outside, was sitting in my car, and not even 10 minutes go by and I heard the alarm.
It took crews several hours to get the fire under control, even using drones to extinguish the hot spots after all 20 employees inside were evacuated.
Now, as I said, most people online were overwhelmingly in support of this, or at the very least understanding of his position and why he felt the need to do this. But in came the bootlickers. The people that are saying this need to shut the fuck up because you don't know what you're talking about. It was very easy to discover that these workers were not employed by Kimberly-Clark directly. They were contracted out by a company called NFI Industries. Now, for those of you that don't know, NFI...
Unfortunately, I am struggling to stay awake again. These pills are very strong, and I'm going to take another break and lie down, I think. I'm just going to keep doing this until the pills are gone, you know. Ooh, nice. Got quite a lot of money now, I think. Yeah, 27,945, not bad. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry, guys. I know I keep popping in and out, but yeah, I'm gonna go lie down for a little bit. I'm sorry. I just sort of don't feel so good, and got a broken arm, and I'm on some pills, and they're making me feel drowsy. So I'm just gonna go and rather than fall asleep on stream and embarrass myself, I'm just gonna go deal with that. And I'm sorry. I'll be back as soon as possible.